Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've got a really interesting topic here. It kind of defies all logic, but it feels like clan boss chests have changed. It feels like they've changed, and there's a big data set which is kind of backing all of this up, albeit the game code and the data that we see in the back end hasn't changed. And when I asked a question of Raid, is there something that's changed that we should be aware of? The response is definitely no changes. Our stance has not changed on this. So it's quite an interesting one. I'm going to share some data with you. I still can't confirm either way with like 100% fact, but I just wanted to kind of share this with the community and see if it feels like you guys are seeing the same thing with your clan boss rewards. So I just want to re-emphasize, I've asked a question of the raid team, and they've said, I said the data mine suggests no change, but the collated data is suggesting it has changed dramatically. And the response is, our stance on the question remains unchanged. So do the global drop clan boss chest drop charts. So they've got data there in where they're saying, we don't think it's changed at all. But the stuff I'm going to show you today really doesn't back that up. And it's weird. So let me just kind of talk you through what's been going on in the background. There is a group in the Russian community. They've basically built a bot. A guy called Gaul, don't know who it is. I'm just kind of reading some stuff out here. Developed a bot which users feed into, and they feed in their clan boss chest results. Okay, and then it's been collated over time. There's always going to be a variance, yeah, because it's percentage chance to get different things. So over time, those percentages should fall in line. But where you've got a user base of, let's call it, a few hundred people putting in results, clearly that's not enough to guarantee a change. But what's interesting is when we start to look at some of these graphs. So just to look at this player base that feed into this bot, 600 plus. Okay, that's a pretty big data set to be looking at numbers like this, especially when you kind of average things over a month. Just go back a second there because it's worth calling out here Vitar, who's kind of pulled this together at the back end of November, did this initial work, and then Senti and the Nerd Corner in my Discord have kind of followed it up, and I'll show you some of their graphs as well. But this graph is pretty damn interesting, and I feel like it's significant. It's not, if it wasn't significant, I'd be like, yeah, guys, RNG. Like, get over it, it's RNG. But look at this. The different lines are different types of item drops, and I'll show you one which Senti's pulled together as well. But you basically got Void Shards is this red line, Epic Tomes is the purple line, Sacred Shards, green line, Legendary Tomes is this kind of yellowy line, okay? And you'll see, basically, mid to end of November, but I guess this is the 17th, yep, 17th of November, look at the kind of line of Epic Tomes. It's basically in this region and then spikes, yeah? It spikes up and then it plays up here from then on. Everything else, because one item has spiked up, everything else drops because if one item increases in percentage chance, everything else with their kind of categories will drop as a result. So this one change has actually meant that we've been getting, on average, for this data set, less Void Shards, less Sacred Shards, less Legendary Tomes. Okay, so this is one kind of view of it. Let me show you another one, which I feel like is even kind of more significant when you look at it from a kind of visual point of view. So this is something that Senti has pulled together from my Discord. And Senti, if anyone's kind of was at the award show even, you'll know this guy does not get anything out to the community without a lot of kind of like mathematical facts. Yeah, he's like, no, I want to see the data. And from this group of players, 600 plus, this is how many Epic Tomes they've got from Ultra Nightmare from their uploads. Again, 600 plus players feeding into this. So before the 17th of November, this light grey is their number of Epic Tomes they got in a month on average, yeah? So you can see it's between 0 and 18, and 18 is kind of like the high roll of Epic Tomes, but most fall into the kind of like 8 to 10, 8 to 12 maybe category, yeah? So you've got that kind of grouped up. Now you've still got a same kind of grouped up feel here. So this side of it feels high. But then look at this. The amount of people that have suddenly started to get 14 to 28 is significantly more than ever before. To the point where it's made me look at this and say, this has to feel right. This has to feel like it's real. And then if we look at, you know, the equivalent in other drops, this is void shards, because the epic tomes have gone up, everything else has slightly reduced. So it just kind of backs up the chart here, which Vitar has kind of put into his post. So it definitely feels like there's a change. And some of you might be like, you know what? An epic tome increase is great. It's great for me because actually the majority of the champions I use are epics. I want to be able to book my epics out. In fact, for most players, honestly, epic tomes are probably more important than void shards and sacreds, other than when you come to stuff like fusions, where you actually need that shard count to be able to get the fusions over the line. So yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying it's definitely happened, and I'm just going to back up something else which has just dropped into content creator chat as I'm recording. The feedback from Green Knight is the sample size is a thing that matters. When people who observe some discrepancies unite to make an assessment, they will notice a change due to sample size and pre-existing narrative. We're still monitoring the situation on our side. We do not ignore such reports, but so far everything is stable. So this is just an informational video. I'm not confirming that this is a change, but I must say, to have a consistent group of people feeding in and for it to move like this is very unusual just for a bit of bad luck. Yeah, if it was just like one day and it did this and then came back down to its normal spike, I'd be like, yeah, that feels just like a weird day. Yeah, but for it to have spiked and then stayed there continuously in this sample group it feels like it's very odd. And as I say, the data mine that we do in the background shows the exact same percentages as normal to get all of these different items. Nothing has changed in the data mine. So all I can think is there's some sort of bug which has been put into the code somewhere which has affected these results in some way. I don't do coding. I don't even like begin to say I know how this stuff works. But the weird thing for me is all of the stats are normal in terms of the percentage drops in the data. But this is not normal for it to have spiked and stayed there. So there you go, guys. Weird one. Hopefully, either Raid get to the bottom of it, or perhaps we see this come back down and everyone's like, well, that was a weird month. But it feels to me like something has changed in code somewhere. There's some sort of bug in the system somewhere. And I guess, you know, good effort for the guys that have actually gone to the lengths of pulling this stuff together. And yeah, thanks to Senti and the group in Nerd Corner for kind of, you know, making it visually easier to look at. But damn, has Clan Boss changed for you? Are you noticing more legendary tomes? I'll tell you what, let's have a quick look at my free-to-play. So on my free-to-play, I do not spend books other than in Clan v Clan. Yeah, so let's just see. So I'm sitting on 19. It is a lot. That is definitely more. I probably normally spend through a Clan v Clan something like maybe 10. So that, I mean, it feels different. It feels significant to me. But all of the answers I'm getting are saying nothing's changed. So just interested to know your thoughts. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.